Well, I got it wrong. About 2 days ago at this point, I released a video entitled Slash Left Marshall Amps. It was in relation to the news that Slash had signed a signature amp deal with Magnatone Amplification. This was huge news, as Slash has been playing solely Marshall amps for pretty much his entire career. In the Magnatone announcement, it talked about how Slash had been using the Magnatones and that he thought that they were killer. It didn't mention Marshall, and myself and many other publications saw this as a very clear indication that Slash was leaving Marshall for Magnatone. And there are other logical reasons as to why I assumed this, and I will get to why I thought this, but it seems that the idea that Slash has left Marshall amps officially is not accurate, and Slash has come out with a statement to say otherwise. To clear up any misconceptions that might arise, although Magnatone and I have been working together to create a new amp, I still maintain my long relationships with Marshall and look forward to continuing collaboration with their incredible team. So in light of this new information, I have unlisted the previous video because it contained inaccurate information, and I would like to correct the record with this video, which does contain the accurate information. Now let's talk about why this is actually maybe even a little bit more interesting than if he had left Marshall for Magnatone, that he's endorsed with both. Because while this dual endorsement thing isn't unheard of, it is rather uncommon. There's a couple of examples that I can think of, but neither are with amps. We've got Devin Townsend, who announced that he was switching to Kiesel guitars for the headless guitars while maintaining his signature Framuses for anything with a headstock. And then just 1 month later, we got another announcement that Deftones' Stephen Carpenter was playing Kiesel while still endorsing ESP. It was Kiesel headlesses as well as headstocked ESPs, so very similar to the Devin Townsend situation. But what I would point out here is that because a big artist endorsing 2 guitar companies at the same time, or for example 2 amp companies at the same time, because it's such an unusual occurrence, those statements both expressly stated that they're doing both. The Magnatone one didn't. And that's kind of where everybody assumed that he would have been leaving, because that's how pretty much every endorsement announcement has worked for a very long time now. Unless otherwise expressly stated, people are going to assume that it's going to work as standard, as it has been for many years. It's almost always been solely one amp company or solely one guitar company. So the fact that this was not expressly stated in the Slash announcement made it seem like it was just a usual endorsement swap, which we see happen all the time. But because it's not a regular endorsement, it does make things a lot more interesting, because it opens up the door to a lot more people. Sure, Devin Townsend is a big name, and so is Stephen Carpenter, but they're not as big as Slash. So Slash can do it. What's there to stop a whole bunch of other players doing it too? You know, Zakk Wylde left Marshall to start up his own amp brand. I don't think the amp section got too much off the ground. But what if he didn't have to? What if he could have started up his own amp brand while continuing his endorsement with Marshall? That would have changed things considerably. Same thing with him leaving Gibson to start Wild Audio guitars. We might start seeing this a whole lot more frequently, and while this is interesting and probably pretty good for the player, it does make things a little bit harder to believe when it comes to someone's endorsement. Because when the Slash news initially broke, I was seeing a lot of people suggesting that, oh, it was Magnatone just paying him a lot of money. Now, I myself didn't really subscribe to this idea, because it's probably safe to say that Slash is pretty rich. So when it comes to money, he's probably not in need of too much of it. But with a dual endorsement, it opens up this idea. Maybe he's keeping his endorsement with Marshall because that's more money there, and he's playing the Magnatones because he really likes them. Or maybe vice versa. He's being paid for the Magnatones and he's playing the Marshalls because he likes them. Who knows? Or maybe he just likes both of them. That's also a completely conceivable idea, but just the dual endorsement thing does open the door for people to start thinking more about the financial aspects of things. So anyway, that's the update to this story. Slash has not officially stopped endorsing Marshall. He's also getting a signature amp made by Magnatone, which is an EL34 based British style sounding amplifier, and that's going to be his signature, and he doesn't currently have a signature with Marshall. That's the update. Thanks for watching, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!